Think about
Oh my
Wall-E.
gosh. We're turning into Wall-E.
They got the screens in front of us. Now they're feeding us the social medias.
And he's like, yeah, weather today is great.
no, I'm not doing that, okay? You know, people used to go back in the day, they were like, I need a cigarette. Our generation, they're like, it's like 7 minutes into work. You're like, dang, I'm kind of bored. Pick up the phone, watch a few TikToks, put it down. It's like your own cigarette break. That's insane.
Eat my ass.
This week, my daily average is
This week, we are talking about our addictions, rather just our phone addictions, really, because can cause some pretty bad problems in relationships. And we're going to provide some comic relief because we're just so silly and fun and goofy this fine Monday morning. It can be really bad constantly having a screen in front of your face. So we're going to talk about that. Let's get into this Half Past crew.
welcome to
Half Past Cha.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Cha, where we drink some cha and spill it.
You just revealed there's nothing in there. This is a fraud. We're a sham.
We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
If you can't already tell, we're an interracial couple that's married.
What?
I'm Indian,
I'm so white.
and that's what we talk about on this podcast. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships, and we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastcha.com where you submit your own questions and stories.
Mm-hmm.
We release new podcast episodes every Monday at 7 a.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Like this video if you're on YouTube. And guess what? If you're on Apple Podcast or Spotify, rate this podcast 5 stars and follow the podcast because that helps the algorithm a ton.
Share it with your friends, your family, your best friend. Share it. Share the episode.
Thank you so much for being here on Monday morning with us. We love you. We thank you for being here. So settle in, get cozy, and grab your jaw. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about being addicted to our dang phones today.
One of us here is a little bit more addicted than the other, I will say.
What are you talking about?
So I want to... You sound like Chicken Little. Who are we talking about?
Who are we talking about?
So I wanted to first start off this episode by us both looking at our screen times.
Oh,
All right, let's...
shoot. I really wish you didn't make us do that.
That sounds like so fake. You're like, oh, shoot.
Well, it wasn't
I don't
want
to pull up my screen time. We don't freaking script this. What are you talking about? Okay, wait. General.
I bet you mine's lower than yours.
I don't believe you
I bet
because the
yours
way
lower
that you're
than
freaking on your phone all the time. Wait, where is it? Am I tripping?
Screen time right there.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Are we just, wait, no. How are we doing this? Like
week,
day?
your daily average for the week. This week. Don't you dare go back any weeks.
Oh, no, I'm glad this week because it was higher last week.
Okay,
so.
we're going to go this week and last week. Okay?
No, we're going to do this week only.
This week, my daily average is 4 hours and 2 minutes. What's yours?
3 hours and 2 minutes.
No way.
Dead ass.
Dang. Okay. What was last week?
What was yours?
4 hours and 48 minutes.
3 hours and 37 minutes.
That's insane.
Eat my ass.
That's insane. I really didn't think. Okay, how about this?
Wait, let's break. Okay.
Well, you got to tell me what your most used app is.
Yeah, no, I want to.
Yeah, mine's bad. Mine's TikTok.
Mine's Instagram.
What?
Yeah.
Mine's TikTok for 9 hours.
Mine's Instagram for 7 hours and 52 minutes. And then TikTok is 3.5 hours.
Why am I on TikTok so much?
I don't know, but you're like chronically on there. You sound like
Yeah,
people
well,
on
last
TikTok.
week was 13 hours. So that's bad. I
don't believe you. There's no way.
Last week
Honey.
I was on TikTok for 13 hours.
What were you doing last week?
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I need to stop that. So if you made it this far in the episode already, you know, it's the beginning of the episode, so hopefully you haven't clicked off yet. But hey, you need to give me your screen time. I need to know what other people's screen time is. What is your most viewed app? Because that is something that we're just very interested in. I'm surprised it's not YouTube because I watch YouTube more than anything.
Obviously not. Okay, let me ask you this. What do you do when you sit on the toilet for an hour every morning?
That's a tough one because it's TikTok, but recently I've been watching Instagram a lot more.
Okay, question. Since we're talking about this, Instagram versus TikTok, which one do you think has better content?
Okay, TikTok is just okay. So TikTok, I watch for longer because people post longer videos on there.
Yeah, because the difference is because of Reels, you can only post 3 minutes, and then
Yeah.
TikTok, you can post up to 10.
So like when it comes to the TikToks, right? I'm actually viewing videos that people are just talking about their lives, about what they're doing for the day, or about tech, like camera gear, something like that. And those videos typically go pretty long. So I'll just watch it as if it's a YouTube video. And
Nerd.
I love YouTube videos, but that's kind of where I'm at. Whereas Instagram, everything I watch on Instagram is like 10 seconds. Like I'll just, so I'm like,
But you could argue, like, I see my feed's like different. I feel like well, it depends, honestly, because there are a lot of things that I follow that are longer than 10 seconds, right? Like I watch a lot of people, like I just posted a running video, like mile 1, mile 2, mile 3. By the way, how do people do that and like not sound out of breath? I will never know. But I watch a lot of those, and I'm following very closely along with the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case, which like all those are very long. Yeah, I don't watch like tech videos because that's not my jam. But like, I don't know. I think it depends because Reels, yeah, I don't know. I see some good stuff on Reels. The Reels used to be pretty trash, and normally if you ask people now, they'll be like, "Oh my god, Reels suck."
I don't like Reels as much for sure, but it's, it is what it is.
So why do you think, in your professional opinion, Mr. Suketu Patel, do you think that we have such a hard time putting our phones down? Both of us, like, you give your reasoning for you, and you give, I don't know, just or in general for everybody in the world.
It's a dopamine hit. It gives you that amount of dopamine that you need. It's like when you are looking for that fix. People used to go back in the day. They were like, I need a cigarette. They go out.
Well, people still do that.
Whereas like now, think about
people still do that.
I know people still do that, but think about this. Like our generation, they're like, they're at work. They get bored for like a second, like maybe like seven minutes into work. They're like, oh, why 7 minutes? Because it's usually me that's like 7 minutes into work. I realize that I'm kind of bored.
Oh, 7.
Anyways,
not very long.
It's like 7 minutes into work. You're like, dang, I'm kind of bored. Pick up the phone, watch a few TikToks, put it down, start working again, and then just process, like keep doing that over and over again. It's like your own cigarette break.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
It's up.
Yeah. Well, because like they didn't have that back in the day. I'm thinking of my parents' age, right? Like they don't, now they're addicted to their phones. Like it's funny because whenever we hang out with our parents, I feel like they're on their phones a lot. And like, not to say that we aren't, but I think I'm on my phone majority of the day anyways. And then I'll spend time with people. And one thing I want to say too is that when I hang out with people, I put my phone away. God. I'm very present.
Yeah, she literally, the phone doesn't exist when Hallie is with other people.
That's good.
And I don't know how she does it because I can't, the second I'm talking to somebody and I get bored, boom, phone comes out. I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with me.
Well, it's just, to me, it's so disrespectful when you're hanging out with somebody and you're like, oh, well, sorry, you're talking, but let me get on my phone real quick because I'm bored of this conversation. I mean, that's like such a slap in the face.
Damn. I know it is.
Yeah, and when you're with people, I'll be like, me too.
Yeah.
Please. I also think,
Can we talk about that for a second? That is the most annoying thing in the world when I'm like doing something, not towards you all the time, but it's you. That like I'm like doing something. I'm like talking to somebody. And let's say I'm like at lunch, right? So I'm like talking, but I kind of like do this like
you don't do that.
My mouth has some things in my mouth.
And he's like, yeah, weather today is great.
No, I'm not doing that, okay? But then Hallie realizes that I'm talking to somebody, and Hallie will be next to me, and she'll be like freaking putting her knee.
Gently do it.
No. She'll be like,
I do it so that the person that you're talking to doesn't see. But guys, can I just say, it's not embarrassing for me. It's like in a professional setting, right? People will look at that and please tell me this is not just me. Okay, I feel like I'm crazy because you don't understand it. But the reason that I do that, I try and do it gently and I talk to you about it is because I'm like, hey, somebody's talking to you and this is the image that they perceive of you, that you're talking with your mouth open, that you're not like it's just rude. I grew up believing that was rude, that you don't chew and talk with your mouth open. Like you don't talk to people because that's gross. People don't like seeing that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the whole mouth chewing thing. I'm talking about you nudging me when I'm doing something.
But you're never going to notice and I'm there with you.
Okay, well, let's go back to the phone conversation.
Yes.
Because
The whole so
this is the reason we need to go back to the phone conversation is because when I am on my phone, sometimes Hallie will see me and she'll nudge me just like the food thing in my mouth.
But I
And
do
so-
it incredibly subtly because I don't want to embarrass. Like, I'm really trying not to bring attention to it at all. And like, nobody ever notices. I'll just like put my hand, like, I'll like rub your back or something. I'm like, hey.
It's like the reason that it really just takes me out of the moment, not the phone taking me out of the moment. You know what? I can't win at this argument because I'm doing everything wrong at that moment in time.
I'm not saying you're doing everything wrong, but you kind of just admitted that, like, it's on you. And I get it. Do you want me to never tell you again?
No.
I won't.
It's good that you tell me.
But let's give an example. Okay. I'm with you right now.
No, let's say you are talking to somebody.
I'm talking to you.
No.
Hi, Suketu. No, you put your phone away. I'm going to be the one on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, talk to me.
Great.
Yeah.
Hi, Hallie. How are you doing today? The weather seems really nice.
Oh, I'm okay.
Why are you not paying attention to me?
What do you mean?
Because you're on your phone.
Oh, I'm just checking something.
I don't like that. That's so rude, Hallie.
Class example.
Wow.
Classy example. But do you get what I mean? Especially if our friends or somebody, whoever it may be, is spending intentional time with us. I think that's just a thing as you get older, because maybe when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, I need to be on my phone, whatever. But like now, I spend time with people because I really choose to spend time with them because I want to be there, right? Not just as a courtesy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them the time that they're giving me because they're busy too, and not be disrespectful.
I have a video that's planned out. It's been planned for the last year and I've never made it because I just don't have it in me to do it. I go 24 hours without a phone.
Oh my gosh, you've been talking about that for like 2 years.
2 years. I've been talking about it for so long and I don't know. Like I just can't force myself to do it.
Well, can I say it's hard with what we do, right?
Yeah, but there has to be a day that I can go without any kind of screen time.
But we both can't do it.
But I'm not.
Because you talked about in the past, my wife and I go 24 hours without a phone. I don't think we should both do it at the same time. I don't know.
Listen.
What do you guys think?
I think it would be interesting to see with me doing it just because I'm so addicted to my phone. It's kind of unhealthy. And a lot of people might see our screen time and be like, oh, that's not really addicted. Like I've seen like 7, 12-hour screen times. I've literally seen 12-hour screen times on some people's phones. And sometimes it's because they're just watching YouTube all day at work or something like that. And that's fine. I get it. But like 12 hours, that's crazy.
What are you doing?
That's like the entirety of the time you're up. Like that's insane. But I would like to see what would happen to me. And I want to put myself in situations where I'm not just at home. Like I'll go out and my phone is my key for my car. Like I'm not gonna have my phone with me at all. Nothing. No access. So like I'm gonna have to use the card thing.
Yeah, that's what people used to do back in the day, right? Like have a car key. Like I still have a physical car key. I'm not a Tesla owner.
Whoop-de-doo. I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be difficult.
It will be.
I only use like Apple Pay ever. So having to carry around like a wallet, that's gonna be interesting. Having to like my alarm like in the morning, like I'm literally 24 hours without a phone, so I can't wake up with an alarm on my phone.
Should this be on a weekend?
No,
or during the workday?
This should be this should be a real life example of what it would be like to not have a phone.
But you still have your work phone.
Well, okay, it has to be a weekend then, or I have to take a day off work.
Oh, I guess that's something to be discussed. You should consider making the video. I think a lot of people would really like it.
All right.
So, how do you feel like being on your phone constantly affects you personally? Like, what do you think that does? How do you think that impacts your day to day?
It's really just about. I mean, for me, it's really just it distracts me way too long. For what? For example, if I am working on something and I pull out my phone, it'll take away like 10, 20, 30 minutes of my time in like seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I gain nothing from it. Does that make sense? Like,
give an example.
The content that content that's being fed to me isn't making my business grow, isn't making my work better. It's not doing anything for me.
Can I say, sometimes it can, if you were watching something that is helping you learn something.
Yeah.
For example,
How often do you do that
compared
on short form?
to, I mean, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. How often do you do that compared to when you watch something that's just going to brain rot you even more?
I don't know, man.
You have to be intentional, don't you think?
You really, if you want, you can use social media to your advantage if you're not just doing it to not be bored. I think that's the problem. We're just so conditioned to not be bored. Whereas, like, think about this.
That's true.
If you've ever been on a road trip with your family back in the day when without phones, listen, I didn't get a phone till 11th grade.
Woo!
So, like, we went on a lot of road trips without phones, without anything to watch. We didn't have a DVD player. I mean, we would go on like 7 to 12 hour road trips. Like when we go to Canada, it was like 7 hours. We went to Pennsylvania once. That was like a 12-hour road trip. And we didn't have anything. Not a Game Boy, not a DVD player, not one thing. I don't know. I'm just thinking back. What did I do?
Do you feel like you're catching up for lost time?
Maybe, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I'm just kidding.
Because like I can't be bored. That's the problem.
I don't think a lot of people can be bored. And it's really sad because I remember how easy things used to be. I mean, yeah, granted, things are a lot easier when you're still living under your parents' roof and don't have too many responsibilities like a house or, like other major responsibilities in life. It was so much easier back then. And I think back to even back before we did social media, how much simpler our lives were. And not that I envy that or wish that was still my life, but I do miss it a little bit. Don't you?
Yeah. Because like especially when we were in high school, it was not like,
oh my gosh, nobody, I mean,
like I would use my phone maybe an hour or two a day.
Well, I mean, think about it. You're a student, you're an athlete, you're just busy, you worked, And
like
we
never charged our phones back then. Like nowadays, I feel like we gotta keep charging it often. Do you remember that? Maybe you don't remember that because you had a really bad phone.
I did. Yeah, I didn't have the best phone. I had a 5S.
Yeah, those things had the worst batteries.
I think you had one too.
I had the 5S, yeah.
Yeah.
But man, that we just didn't use them as much.
No, so my next question to you would then be, how do you feel like, because we talked about how it both has impacted us being on our phones constantly individually, how do you think now in our relationship, or for anybody in a relationship, how this can be a problem, being addicted to your phone?
It can cause problems, like big time, because you're not giving your full attention to your partner. You're not giving everything you have in terms of like your attention. And sometimes when you're on your phone too much, especially like on dates and stuff, just you both become complicit in that. Like there will be no conversation. How many times have you been to a restaurant and both people are on their phones? Oh my gosh.
If you really go out and people watch, we did this like a week or two ago where we were at a restaurant. We were at Applebee's. Shout out. And we were just sitting and we were talking and we were waiting for our food to come out. And we just looked at the table next to us and it was two parents and they had a daughter. And they were just on their phones the whole time. Like it was silent. I didn't hear a single conversation.
And let's say a kid doesn't even have a phone. Then you have these little tablets on the table that they can use to play games. So it's like there's no way to get out of it. Like even if you don't have a phone, there's a tablet right in front of you. Crazy.
There's always something. There's always something to not be bored by. It's like they don't want us to be bored, It's weird.
You got to think WALL-E situation, guys. Think about
WALL-E.
WALL-E.
Gosh. We're turning into WALL-E.
They got the screens in front of us. Now they're feeding us the social medias. All right. So
yes.
Before Instagram, YouTube, all these things, they were whatever you follow is what you see. And then ads started coming in. Ads were like all these things that
they're so targeted.
We didn't really follow, but like we would talk about it. The mics would pick up on it, right? And then those ads started playing in between videos or in between the things you follow. And then TikTok came around.
Oh my gosh.
And then TikTok feeds you anything that could interest you. It learns who you are. TikTok has more data on you than anything in the entire world.
That's scary.
And that is kind of scary. But you got to think, like, this thing knows you so well. It knows how to keep you captive in this app. And that, to me, is losing your life. Like, that is, you are losing time. You're losing so much of the precious currency that is time.
What's that documentary called? Is it The Social Dilemma?
The Social Dilemma.
I should watch it.
It's on Netflix.
It is, yeah. It's like 5 or 6 years old. It's a little bit older.
There's no way.
I mean, I think we watched it in like 2020.
Great.
And it was shocking even back then. And I'm sure.
Wait a minute. 2020 was 5 years ago?
Yeah, that makes me want to vomit. It doesn't. Because that was when we had coronavirus.
That was pretty bad.
Oh my God. It's behind us. Thank God. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. But that's a good one that you guys should definitely check out. It was actually really scary. I did not enjoy watching it, but it taught me a lot of things. And it was very useful. And it's always good to, know that you're being tracked and watched all the time. And listened to. It's just a great feeling. I love it so much. So Suke2, I want to go back to what you said earlier about, like, especially when we're on dates and stuff, right? You have no idea how many people have written in, or friends I've talked to in passing, or whoever it may be, that said, like, I'm on a date with my significant other. They're always on their phone. And I try and tell them about it, and they don't think it's a problem. They get upset by it, whatever. And I just want to say, too, that in our relationship, there have been so many times where we've both been guilty of being on our phones. And the other one will be like, okay, hey, you want to put it away? Like, can we enjoy our time together now? Because that's definitely up in the list of our love languages, is quality time together and intentional time and uninterrupted time. Whereas I'm getting your divided attention, right? When and you're getting my, like, vice versa, when we're on a date and we're on our phone. So how do you think that we can maybe work towards a solution? Or, like, for example, if somebody were to ask, okay, like, what do I do in this situation if my partner is on their phone and, like, they get mad that I tell them, like, because that's happened to us. So how would you deal with that?
Put their phone on time limits. What's it called?
The screen limits or
Screen
whatever.
limits.
I don't think that works. You've tried that and then you hit ignore and it's like, what's the point?
There's a thing now called Brick. And you can get it, and, like, it literally, you just put your phone on it and it breaks the phone. So, like, you know what that means? Like, it breaks the phone. So, like, you just can't use it for certain apps or something like that. And so that's an option.
But that's
an extreme option. I like it.
So, like, say I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
And go act it out.
Okay, get off your phone.
Okay, like, not like that. Like, a little bit nicer. Like,
hey, can you get off your phone?
No, why?
Because it's stupid.
No, okay, honey.
Okay, so let's say you're on your phone and I say, hey, can you get off your phone?
I'm like, no, I'm doing something really important.
But can you get off? I need your attention.
Yeah, I'm paying attention.
I can't. I literally can't go through with this right now.
What would you do?
This just makes me angry.
It's like we're on the show. What would you do?
But I can't because it's just not. The reason is because it's happened so many times. It's such a trigger for me because listen, there's, like, times where you are, like, editing a video on your phone or something, and I'm like, I'm over here, like, done with my stuff. So I'm ready to, like, hang out or do something, or I might be hungry.
There you have it.
And
he gets hangry.
And so I'm just trying to get you off your phone, and you're not. And so, like, the only thing I can do is make you mad. I make you mad.
Okay, honey, this is not where I wanted this conversation to go.
I'm so sorry.
How about we flip it and, act like you're on your phone.
Okay, I'm on my phone.
Hey, honey, we're at dinner. Do you think you could get off your phone now?
No.
Well, I really would love to spend some quality time with you.
Okay, I'll get off my phone, but I have to finish this thing real quick.
How long is real quick?
See, I think I think the issue is actually not, like, the whole being on your phone too much. It's not understanding the other person's perspective when you are on your phone. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, you can be on your phone. That's fine. But the second you two are together, I think that's when you need to stop.
Yes. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. That's kind of our thoughts on how to deal with a situation like that. This episode was kind of all over the place, but I like it because we're just yappers. We're natural yappers. Sorry about that one. Ate a donut before this. So K2, thank you for providing your insight. This was fun. I think it was useful, especially for me in certain situations. Now I know how to handle, based off of your advice, how to handle situations like this moving forward.
Very nice. I'm glad I could provide some assistance.
Yeah, we hope that if this is a problem or recurring issue in your relationship or something that you deal with not even in a relationship, if you struggle to be on your phone, set screen time limits or use the brick. What?
Yeah, it's called Brick. Look it up.
All right. Well, yeah, there you have it. Those are ways that you can reduce your screen time and just get outside. Just see some sunlight.
It's getting warmer, everybody.
It is.
Come outside.
So now is the time. It's okay to be on your phone during winter, but guys, you don't want to be on your phone during the summer because what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Guys, reminder, we are going to have our 100th episode. Next episode is going to be a big one. We're actually going through some crazy things that we can't reveal just yet, but it will be revealed slowly on Instagram. So make sure you follow us at HalfPastJa. If you have any questions that you want to be featured in that episode, make sure you go to www.halfpastja.com. And Half Past Crew, we love you. We thank you for your support. We will see you next Monday at Half Past Ja.
Thank you, everybody. It's a good title for this. Help, I'm addicted to my phone. Why am I addicted?
Who am I addicted to? How am I addicted to?
Where am I addicted to?
Why am I addicted
what
to?
am I? Oh, see, there we go. If you just ask yourself the 5 major questions, then you're good to go.